Imagine walking down your hallway, rounding the corner, and coming face to face with your sweet, fluffy house cat. Only this time, you aren't looking down at an 8-pound ball of fur. You're looking straight ahead, level with a massive 600-pound killing machine. It flicks its tail, lets out a guttural, earth-shaking rumble, and playfully pounces towards you. Except its playful pounce carries the kinetic impact of a speeding motorcycle. Big cats like tigers are already among the most revered apex predators on the planet. But anyone who has ever owned a domestic cat knows the truth. Beneath that cute, purring exterior lies an absolute menace with the heart of a merciless hunter. So, what if we leveled the playing field? What if we took a standard domestic house cat, scaled its body up to match the exact size, weight, and muscle mass of a 500 to 600 pound Bengal or Siberian tiger, and pitted them against each other in an ultimate feline showdown? Would the wild, battle-tested tiger assert its dominance? Or would the hyper-agile, relentless instincts of an oversized house cat turn the king of the jungle into prey? Let's break down the anatomy, agility, and combat instincts to see who actually wins this battle of the big cats. To figure out who comes out on top, we first have to look at the raw physical stats. Tigers are built like tanks. A fully grown male Bengal tiger can weigh anywhere from 400 to 600 pounds, stretch nearly 10 feet long from nose to tail, and boast a bite force of over 1,000 pounds per square inch. Their bodies are optimized for sheer, overwhelming power, designed to drag down massive prey like water buffalo, gores, and wild boars single-handedly. House cats, on the other hand, are engineered for high-frequency precision. Even though they're small, house cats have a remarkably flexible spine, allowing them to rotate their bodies mid-air, explode into sudden direction changes, and spring up to 6 times their own height in a single jump. If you scale a domestic cat up to 600 pounds, assuming its skeletal structure and muscle density scale up proportionally to support the weight, you aren't just getting a big cat. You're getting a predator with an absurd power-to-weight ratio. A tiger-sized house cat would possess the jaw strength to crush bone, 3-inch retractable claws, and an explosive vertical leap that could clear a 2-story house. Next, we have to look at their hunting styles and reaction times. Tigers are ambush predators. They rely on dense cover, camouflage, and patience. A tiger will stalk its prey silently, get as close as possible, and launch a single, devastating burst of energy to snap the prey's neck or crush its windpipe. If the initial ambush fails, tigers generally don't like to engage in long, drawn-out acrobatic dogfights. They prefer maximum efficiency. House cats? They hunt completely differently. Domestic cats hunt smaller, faster prey like mice, birds, and insects. Because their prey is so erratic, house cats have evolved lightning-fast reaction times. In fact, a domestic cat's reaction time is around 20 to 50 milliseconds, faster than a snake's strike, and nearly twice as fast as a human's. They don't just strike once and give up. They engage in rapid, frantic, highly acrobatic sprees of swipes, pounces, and flips. If a 600-pound house cat retains those lightning-fast reflexes, the tiger is going to be dealing with an opponent that moves with an unnerving, hyperkinetic speed that wild big cats simply aren't used to encountering. Before we dive into how this brutal fight actually plays out, if you want to make sure this channel keeps pouncing onto your feed, do us a quick favor and scratch that subscribe button. Now back to the battle of the century. Let's set the stage for the matchup. We drop a 600-pound Siberian tiger and a 600-pound upscaled house cat into a neutral environment, say, a dense forest clearing. Both animals are at peak health, fully grown, and equally motivated to defend their territory. At first, the tiger has a massive psychological advantage. Combat experience. Tigers spend their entire lives fighting for survival. They clash with rival tigers over territory, battle giant prey that fights back with horns and hooves, and carry the scars of real-world warfare. A tiger knows how to grapple, how to protect its throat, and how to use its massive shoulder muscles to pin an opponent to the ground. A house cat, by contrast, spends most of its life chasing red laser dots, swatting at plastic crinkle balls, and sleeping in sunny spots on the rug. It has the instinct to kill, but it lacks the hard-earned scars of true apex predator combat. When the fight begins, the tiger relies on its classic wrestling style. It rears up on its hind legs, using its broad chest and massive forearms to swipe and grapple. The house cat, however, relies on sheer, unhinged chaotic energy. Anyone who has ever tried to put a normal house cat into a cat carrier knows that when a domestic cat goes into full defense mode, it turns into a whirling blender of claws and teeth, striking from every conceivable angle at once. In the early seconds of the fight, the tiger attempts to clamp its jaws onto the house cat's neck to end the match quickly, but the house cat's superior flexibility and reflex speed allow it to twist out of the grip. House cats have extremely loose skin around their necks and bodies, an evolutionary trait designed to let them turn around and bite an attacker even while being held. As the tiger lunges, the upscaled house cat dodges laterally, using its incredible vertical spring to launch itself directly over the tiger, raking its 3-inch claws across the tiger's back as it passes. The tiger turns, furious, and lands a heavy paw strike that sends the house cat skidding across the dirt. Here, the tiger's sheer muscular density and bone thickness shine. A wild big cat can take a beating and keep coming. However, the house cat springs back to its feet instantly, landing on all fours as always. This is where the house cat's unique physical traits begin to turn the tide. A house cat's claws are relatively longer and sharper in proportion to its body size than a tiger's. While a tiger's claws are built for gripping large, heavy hide, a house cat's needle-sharp claws are designed to shred and hook deeply into flesh. Furthermore, house cats possess a distinct tactical move that wild big cats rarely use in feline versus feline combat, the dreaded bunny kick. When a house cat wraps its front legs around an opponent, it uses its massive hind legs to repeatedly violently rake its claws down the belly of its target. At 600 pounds, those hind leg kicks carry enough force to disembowel a rival animal in seconds. As the fight wears on, the tiger's stamina begins to drain. Tigers are built for short, heavy bursts of energy, but they exhaust quickly in prolonged, high-speed scrambles. The upscaled house cat, with its relentless, twitchy energy, continues to dance around the tiger's heavier strikes, peppering it with lightning-fast paw slaps and acrobatic leaps. The tiger makes one final desperate charge, attempting to use its heavier neck and shoulder mass to pin the house cat to the floor. But the house cat rolls onto its back, catches the tiger's chest with its front paws, and executes a full-power double hind leg kick. The sheer explosive power of the scaled-up house cat launches the tiger backward, breaking its grip and inflicting devastating damage. With the tiger dazed and bleeding, the house cat uses its superior agility to leap onto the tiger's back, locking its jaws firmly into the base of the tiger's skull, a precision strike that domestic cats use instinctively on smaller prey. The fight is over. So, who wins? While a wild tiger has the edge in combat experience and rugged durability, a house cat scaled up to 600 pounds takes the victory 7 times out of 10. The domestic cat's absurdly fast reaction times, unmatched flexibility, loose skin, and chaotic, multi-directional fighting style make it a far more versatile and lethal duelist when physical size is equalized. Nature designed the tiger to be a heavy tank, but it designed the house cat to be a lightning-fast fighter jet. It turns out the only reason your sweet, cute little house cat hasn't overthrown the animal kingdom is simply because it fits in your lap. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with which animal matchup we should cover next, and subscribe so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.